Who do you guys hope wins, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Kamala. No, I'm a never Trumper.
Not a good
Just a
argument,
never
dude.
Trumper.
Never Trumper.
What has Kamala Harris done? Nothing.
Where do you think the country will go if Kamala is elected?
Well, it's going to go more socialistic.
What's something that makes you excited to vote for her?
You know, it just feels good.
Do you think that most millionaires vote for Trump or Kamala? Well, today we're going to find out. We're reacting to Nick Shirley, so shout out Nick Shirley, excellent content. He goes to Maui.
Yeah, which we couldn't afford, you know.
Not right now. Someday. To interview millionaires on who they are voting for in the 2024 election and why.
I think honestly it's going to be a good data point for Americans because you're going to Hawaii, you're talking to people from probably both sides of the spectrum. So
But it's all millionaires, so we'll find out.
It's millionaires for sure, but I think a lot of millionaires vote for both sides.
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to be unbiased.
Yeah, for sure.
We've obviously said who we're voting for on this channel.
But
I want to hear logic. If you can give me logic and you're across the spectrum on the other side, I will respect you, but I need to see logic.
If you give me an argument that actually works, then I'll talk. I'll listen.
Yeah, exactly. Just not all emotion.
Yeah, let's see.
Who do you guys hope wins, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Kamala.
What makes you excited to vote for Kamala?
I'm a never
It's
Trumper.
not a good
Just a
argument,
never
dude.
Trumper.
Never Trumper.
If it was
Anybody
somebody,
but Trump.
if it was somebody else besides Donald Trump running on the Republican side, would you still vote for it? Would you vote for that person, or is it just because?
Possibly. I think about a Mitt Romney type, a more moderate,
He's a
less
Democrat now.
confrontational type.
So it's just because Trump is Donald Trump.
Divisiveness, yeah.
With the upcoming elections between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who will you guys?
All right, let's do a little game. Comment below who you think that the beautiful looking guy, older guy with the Duke shirt and the beautiful woman next to him. Who do you think they're voting for?
To be fair, I think the woman on the left, if I could marry someone that looks like her in her mid to late 40s, early 50s, I would be doing pretty well. If she wasn't, hopefully she's not a liberal.
Who do you think who you think they're gonna vote for?
I mean, to be fair, I think the guy on the right's gonna vote for Trump. I think the girl on the left is gonna be undecided, but she probably is gonna say Trump.
But it looks like she's his girl.
Yeah, but I think she has her own opinion, but she probably is going to say Trump.
Strong, powerful woman. But
Yeah.
let's see. I'm going to go. I think they're both going Trump.
All right.
Are you voting for?
Trump, all the way.
And why do you guys want Donald Trump to win?
Look at all the things he did for us when he was in office, you know? Secured our borders somewhat. What has Kamala Harris done? Nothing. She was put in charge of the borders initially. Never even visited.
Yeah.
And just all the other things. She's good for the market, good for business. He's good for foreign policy. You know, I think the other countries respect him versus a woman as a president. We had a better relationship with China. We had more control in the Middle East.
We talked to a lot of women, and they said, we're going to be voting for Kamala because she's a woman. Does that influence your vote at all as a woman?
No, I mean, I don't really think it's about
Thank
gender.
Thank you.
I just think it's about somebody that's going to represent our country with grace
values.
and class and dignity and respect and protect us. I agree. I really love Mr. Trump. And I think that he is a great person.
A lot of people that we talk to that are from the left say that Donald Trump will become a dictator if he's elected. Do you guys worry about Donald Trump becoming a dictator?
No.
You think that's just propaganda from the left?
He's a
that's
good family man. He's not. That's not who he is.
It's common sense. Like, if you hear the propaganda on the left, you're going to be like, oh my God, Trump is the dictator. He's going to be like Stalin or Hitler.
He already had 4 years.
He had, you guys, everybody listening right now, listen to the sound of my voice. It's very simple. It's
and
common
the
sense.
and the expressions on his face.
It's common sense logic, okay? You've had the opportunity, which is rare in American politics. You can pick the last 4 years of Biden-Harris versus the 4 years of Trump. Were you better off under Trump or under Biden-Harris?
The
It's
only
very simple.
way would be if you're a billionaire that got advantages because of being part of the Democratic Party.
No, it's not even
But I'm saying that's the only way you could say that you were better
But
off.
I would disagree with that because when it comes to politics in America and the corporate tax cuts, Trump gave more corporate tax cuts to boost innovation.
I'm talking about being in bed with the left and the elites.
I mean, yeah, that's.
I'm talking about like.
You should have prefaced that.
Yeah.
And I was like, eh.
But what's the difference between these two people they've interviewed so far? One is emotion.
Emotion versus
All it
policies.
is never Trumper.
It's
never
it's-
Trumper.
it's-
That's what they say. They say never Trumper. They give no actual reason why you should be an.
It's emotion versus policy. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to hear somebody from Kamala's camp give me an actual reason behind policy.
Did anybody
what does she actually want to do for the American people?
Did anybody character assassinate Kamala right there?
No, because they don't know
They
her
didn't.
well enough.
Yeah, they didn't say she's a lunatic. This and that.
Well,
Which Trump says that.
I mean, to be
sometimes,
fair,
but-
David, though, she's very new to the national spotlight. If you're a VP of a country, you're not necessarily in the spotlight. Pence was never in the spotlight when he was in Trump's camp, right?
I mean, that's true.
So now Kamala's on the front stage. She's getting all the press. She's getting hundreds of millions of dollars thrown at her. So I want to see like real.
But you can still tell characters what I mean.
100%.
They
But I
didn't
want
go
to see.
after-
I want to see real politics in terms of policies.
If you're voting for Kamala,
give me something.
Give me something.
Substance, please.
I mean, look at all the things they try to do, the Democrats, to stop him from getting into office. You know, they've put all these lawsuits against him, try to tie him up in court. This type of conduction or policy, whatever you want to call it, this is what you see in Russia when they're trying to run against Putin. And he just does everything to, put his opponents behind him or in jail, whatever.
Yep.
So, he's the only one standing.
What do you guys think about the current state of America? Where do you think we're heading as a country?
We're just worried. We're very worried, waiting for the election to see what happens.
And who do you guys hope to win the election?
All right. Who do you think they're going to go for?
100% Kamala because they're old.
They're
retired.
I mean, a lot of old people do go for Trump.
Yes, but they're in Maui. Like the guy behind him, like he's not actually. Think about this for a second. He's holding an umbrella. He's not putting over her head. He's not in the front. He's not leading by example. He seems like a shell of a man that never served in the military, and he has every excuse in the world.
Granted, you don't have to serve in the military to be a man, but
he has every excuse in the world to vote for Kamala because she's leading the charge. Here's the thing about a man: if I'm walking with a beautiful woman like her, I've been married for 50 plus years. I want to make sure.
You think she's beautiful?
If I'm married to her for 50 plus years, she's not doing bad. I want to make sure that I'm leading by example. I'm the one that's on the mic. I'm talking. Not because she's subservient to me, but I want to be the man. I want to lead the charge. And I have actually breaking news in regards to the Trump election that I want to share right after this interview.
Okay, so stay tuned for that. I have no idea what he's talking about. It just
big
came
deal.
up. I'm going Kamala as well for this one.
Kamala.
Who would have thought?
Gosh.
Yes.
Trump
All right,
is
give me something.
incredibly unworthy of the office, unworthy of
Why is
trying
that,
to
buddy?
run, a convicted felon. The country's headed toward totalitarianism if he wins.
Really?
Yeah, we
Yes,
worried there'd never
yes.
be another presidential election if he wins this one.
Really, a lot of people would say that they're worried if Kamala Harris wins the election, and they think the country could turn into something different. But you guys believe that if Trump wins, we could turn into
Totalitarianism.
A dictatorship.
A dictatorship.
He'd like to do away with the Congress. He has been a corporation titan all his life. At the top of every corporation is a dictator. That's the way he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to be a...
First of all,
Can I give you a definition real quick?
of a dictator?
No, totalitarianism. That's
ahead.
what they said.
Yeah.
A system of government that is centralized and dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. That is not a constitutional republic. If that was the case, we would be Venezuela right now. No, even worse.
He could have done it his first 4 years.
Even worse, Elon Musk just called out Brazil because they are become a complete dictatorial state and they have banned X or Twitter, right? So their new leader, who's a absolute fascist dictator, if that was the way that it worked, then Trump would be saying, we got to get rid of all these platforms, we got to censor people, and he's promoting free speech.
Exactly. He's promoting free speech. What dictator would ever want to encourage free speech?
Not Trump, because he went on an interview with Elon Musk and got over 1 billion views. If
And
that
I'm-
was the case, then
yeah.
it would be a very different
And I'm so
political
tired of
climate.
people saying convicted felon. We
Yeah.
did a video, which we'll link on the end of this video, where it goes through the crimes of the last 20 years of different presidents.
That's
What
good.
every single other
You guys
president
should
has
see
done.
that. It was a good video.
And it shows that what he did in comparison was so minute, it shouldn't even have been a felony.
Yeah.
But we'll put that at the end of this video, so stay tuned
Was
for
it a
that.
felony?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Check out the video.
political dictator, just like he was a business dictator.
Okay, sorry. Last thing, I don't want to keep stopping this. If you start a business, you take on all the risk, so you are allowed to control what happens in that business.
You guys excited about Kamala Harris potentially winning the election?
We know her. We're from California. We're from near San Francisco. So we have seen her from the time that she became Attorney General of the city of San Francisco. She became Attorney General of the state of California. She became senator from, federal senator from the state of California. We like the way she thinks, the way she acts. She's just a great person.
And remember this couple because we'll be coming back to them later in this video. Who are you going to be voting for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump.
Yep. And what makes you like Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris?
Can I do it in my Trump voice?
Go for it.
Kamala Harris. Kamala's crazy.
What do you think about
Crazy
that?
Kamala.
What do you think
Commander Kamala. She's fired.
What do you think we could expect underneath the presidency of Kamala Harris if she is elected?
A lot of crime, a lot of corruption, a lot of bad things. America will be ruined. Absolutely terrible. Be a terrible place.
And now she's saying that she's going to stop the border crisis when she has been in charge of the border crisis. Do you think she'll change that in the upcoming election?
She's been the vice president for the past 3.5 years. Done nothing about it. I don't think she'll do nothing. She's going to let more and more in. They're more votes. That's all they want, votes.
I mean, that's proven.
He's just saying what we've been saying for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, even Elon Musk said it. Like, if you have people coming over the border and you're not requiring ID to vote, and then you're giving them asylum, what do you think the Democrats' end goal is in bringing all these illegal migrants into the country? It's not
savior complex. By us saving you, you now owe us.
No, but it's not even the savior complex of like you owe us. It's that they have an agenda. Even Chuck Schumer said it when he was actually interviewed by the press. We got to give all illegal immigrants. He didn't say illegal because they don't say illegal because it goes against the narrative. But we're a country of immigrants. We have to give everybody a fighting chance to be a part of our country. Okay, so that with that logic, Ireland, which Conor McGregor, by the way, he just announced that he's going to be running for president in Ireland.
Fire.
And he said he's going to be setting up a task force to vet all migrants, illegal or legal, that come into the country and kicking them out. That is 100% what we need to be doing in this country right now.
100%.
Because if we don't have a border, we don't have a country. And you cannot allow people coming into the country, which we have from, and to be fair, most people are like, they're all coming from Mexico.
No, mostly Venezuela.
Mostly Venezuelans, Chinese. We have people from Africa coming
Arabs.
in. We had, I think it was 3 months ago, we had 20,000 illegal Chinese, military-age males coming across the border. Okay, so what is the strategy for those people coming across the border? Do they want to help the country? We don't know. We have no idea because we're just letting them in. And then the Kamala Harris administration said recently, yes, we're at the lowest number possibly of letting people into the country illegally. And you know what? J.D. Vance just went on an interview recently, which I 100% agree with. This is a fact. He said, it's not that you're not letting less people in. You're allowing them to come through the border, through the port of entry. Instead of coming over the border illegally through something else, you're allowing them to illegally come through the port of entry.
Where you can see them coming through.
Where you can see them, but it's still the port of entry. It's still illegal. You're still letting them in. So it's the same exact thing, but it's a political spin hit job on the actual way that they're coming in. And it's completely against the Constitution that we set up as America. You have to have a border. You have to have laws. If you have no laws, then you're not a country. Period.
Yep. Real quick. You said his Trump voice is okay. Give me yours.
We're going to let him in. We're going to be huge. We're going to build a wall around all these illegal people coming in. We're going to kick them out. We're going to have the massive, biggest deportation we've ever had as a country. It's going to be huge. It's going to be so important. I'm Donald Trump, and I'm going to make sure that you get my vote.
A little fast, but not bad.
It was pretty bad.
Do you think with all the people coming in, do you think those are eventually going to become voters in the United States?
They're going to try. They're gonna try to make them voters. They're gonna really try to make them voters because they don't want guys like me, the good guys, to win. The American dream under the Biden-Harris administration's dead. It's just Donald Trump is a good guy. He's for the people.
We're trying to get the insight as far as who millionaires will be voting for. Who will you be voting for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? We talked to some people here and they said they're going to be voting for Kamala Harris. What would be your message to the people about why you'll be voting for Donald Trump?
The economy, the border, Medicare. She's had 3.5 years to get something done.
She hasn't.
And hasn't done anything to help the border out.
Come on, baby.
The economy, we farm, and our expenses have gone up, and our prices have gone down. She wants to give Medicare to illegal immigrants, and it's already going to go bankrupt in about 15 years.
Where do you think the country will go if Kamala is elected?
Well, it's going to go more socialistic, and Trump will bring it back to more conservative. And I'm pretty conservative.
So when Trump was president, was your business thriving a lot more than it is currently?
Yeah, it was. We had good grain prices. Corn was twice as much as it is now. And beans were about $7
That's
more.
That's crazy.
Kamala said she's going to announce price gouging potentially on these stores. How would that affect you as a farmer?
If she fixes prices, the grocery stores are already only making about 1.6% on their groceries that they sell. I don't know how she can knock much more out of that, and the only way to lower the grocery prices is to come back to the farm and lower our prices, and that won't work.
That is the problem with price gouging.
Do you know
on
the
food.
statistics around?
You're going to screw over the grocery store and the farmers.
Do you know the statistics around that? So in the grocery industry in America, the margins on net profits is 1.6%. Okay? So the moment that you start to price gouge expenses for the average company or the big conglomerate, whatever you want to call it, they have 1.6% margins. So the moment you price gouge is the moment that you either make them rise their prices or the moment they go out of business.
By price gouging, it means you can't rise your prices.
You can't rise your prices. So what is that going to do?
It's going to make it so they have to lay people off.
Yep.
Unemployment. They are going to have less food available.
What is the hallmark of a constitutional republic or a democracy?
That you have control over your own business.
Free markets, right?
Yeah, because
competitive
the
environment.
reason why we don't want monopolies is because they can control everything. But when you have grocery stores, it's not a monopoly. You have Food Line, you have Kroger, you have Walmart. You have all these major
Target
places or companies that have to compete with each other.
Yep.
So therefore, if they raise their prices too high, the other ones are going to cut underneath of them. It's the same with gas, right? You have so many gas stations. You don't want one gas station.
Mm-hmm.
You have one gas station that's BP or whatever, then they can raise their prices to $10 a gallon and everyone's going to have to get that.
Yep.
You have all these different gas stations so that they're competing with price, because if you're across the street from a gas station and they're 10 cents higher, who are you going to? The one that's 10 cents lower.
98% of what the federal government gets involved in terms of trying to regulate something, unless it's something that helps the American people, like gas, for example, or tariffs, which Trump wanted to get involved in, is going to create a hyperinflation environment where people cannot afford the necessary cost of goods that they're associated with.
So you need competition. You need to encourage competition.
You cannot encourage competition if you're gouging prices and telling people what they should charge for a certain amount of an item. The market determines the price of an item, not the federal government.
Exactly.
Who will you be voting for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
Sorry. Kamala Harris.
And really, and why so?
Because I think she's a better candidate.
What makes you excited about Kamala Harris winning?
Lots of things, but the thought of a first female president is exciting. I have 2 young daughters, so I think that would be really cool for them to be able to see a woman in office.
Great. And is this your husband right here?
He is right here. Oh, they got a question for you.
We just talked to your wife. She told us she'll be voting for Kamala Harris.
Man up.
And who will you be voting for in the election?
Harris Waltz, no doubt.
With what you saw at the DNC and what you've seen from speeches from Kamala, what's something that makes you excited to vote for her?
You know, it just feels good. You know, I think the message is one that resonates, where I'm big on language, and when you can have messaging that is looking towards the future, looking towards a brighter future, that's always going to bode well with me personally.
So you're saying that you like motivational speakers because that's all you're doing. You want somebody that's going to make you feel good inside. You don't want a plumber that's going to fix your house. You want someone that's going to.
She's not a motivational speaker.
She's not. She said nothing that's motivational, except we're not going back.
No, but here we talk about, this is the Democratic talking point. And if you're Democrat, please listen to me. Vibe. It's all about the vibe.
The vibe. Emotional.
It's all emotional.
The party of emotion.
Emotions don't save you.
No.
Emotions don't make your gas prices go down. Emotions don't help you when you're in the grocery store, when your cheese is up 50%.
If your kid is about to get hit with a car, you don't say, stop, my child.
Please don't hit them.
You take action and you do what's necessary to save your kid's life.
Yes.
That's what you do.
What do leaders do? They set an example.
And
they go out, they act. They work with people that they don't want to work with. Kamala has demonized every single world leader, from Xi Jinping of China and also North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Trump said, listen, I don't like these guys, but I have to work with them because I'm a leader.
And he gained their respect.
Why do you gain somebody's respect? You gain it by listening and talking to them, not necessarily agreeing, but being somebody that they respect regardless of where you're at. It's a world stage thing.
I will say this. If
it's
a man tells me that he's voting for somebody because of how it feels, you have lost my respect as a man.
Yes, it's not emotional.
You are not even a man to me.
It's not emotional.
It's not. You're being all emotional.
Stop being emotional. Give me a
policy. Trump were to win, what do you think the country would look like?
I mean, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. I still got to get up and go to work every day regardless.
No.
Will things look good, personally, for me? I don't think so, but it doesn't change, my responsibilities and what I have to do every day to provide for my family. So I just think that for the country as a whole, that doesn't look great if he gets back in office for all Americans. I don't believe.
Mm-hmm. We were talking with your wife, and she said she'd vote for Kamala Harris. One of the reasons because she is a woman. And do you think that would be inspiring for future generations to see a woman as president?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, representation is everything.
No,
and
it's
not so much about identity politics at that point. To see that, to have my daughters to be able to see that, to have others' daughters be able to see that, I think that bodes well for their psyche better than if they didn't, right? It's not so much.
See, he's the kind of father, again, as a father, man, I don't want to dog you. I want to be loving in as many aspects as I can. But you are the kind of guy that is raising your daughters to be combative with men. And I hate to say that, but you're saying it's all about representation, knowing that you can be the next president, you can be this and that. If you are raising your daughters to support people just because they're like me, I hate that. It's the same way in sports.
No, it's because here's the thing. I would agree with him, and this is something that's really important for this video, and I think everybody out there has to understand. I would 100% agree with him if it was just a regular politician that was running on the Republican side, right? That was bought and paid for by the elitists, because it wouldn't really matter at that point, because not necessarily the president that's running the country. It's all the elitists behind them that are actually making the decisions. The thing about Donald Trump is that he cannot be bought or paid for. He came into the establishment and he upended all of the WEF, World Economic Forum, way of doing things.
Yep.
Right? Which pissed all of the elites off. And that's why I'm so hopeful for him to come into office, is because he didn't need this. He was loved by everybody before he came into office. He didn't need this job.
Yeah, he was doing interviews with
The View thought he was their best friend before bringing him into office, right? As soon as he started running for office, everybody on the left did a complete 180, along with the media, of demonizing him as a dictator, as the worst person in the world. There was a whole Russian Kaluza hoax. There was all these different things that came against Trump.
Last thing I wish that the interviewer had been asking the people is, what's something that Trump did that you disagree with? Because they all make it sound like he's this horrible, horrible person. I want some interviewer to ask somebody on the street, what is something Trump did that you don't agree with? And what is something Kamala did or is going to do that you agree with?
Here's the problem.
Give me policy differences.
Here's the problem. The mass general public in America lives off of talking points. They don't live off of substance. That's the problem with X and any of these platforms, is you go and you scroll videos. And it's easy for us, even the Wilson brothers, right? We can become biased. And we try our best to not be biased in these conversations. We want to understand all the facts from the left and from the right, because we understand that the world that we're living in is very polarizing and everybody has an opinion. Yep. But we want to give you guys facts, logic, and common sense. And if you guys agree with facts, logic, and common sense, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be bringing you guys way more interesting content,
daily content
in the future. And if you like this video, we'd love to hear from you, and let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for subscribing, staying tuned to what we do, and we'll see you on the next video.
Let's go. Peace.
Peace.